ages. So, you know, if you could get from 57 to 40, you know, then because the more people that come for the fourth quarter, the more you're going to keep drawing back, and you'll be on 87 if you don't redo it.
Yeah, this product is kind of a seasonal thing. I don't think it'll really sell in fourth quarter.
We're live. We're live.
We're live.
Live.
Who's hosting?
Oh, is that John?
Good afternoon.
John Levian? Oh,
Hey, Candy, are you hosting today? There she is, everybody. Welcome.
He's holding court.
It is so good to see you all. Oh my goodness, there's Gail, there's Candy, of
Gail's
course,
holding it.
Sharon, good to see Rosnita, Nikki, what's going on, everybody? Let's see, let's get a crowd.
Good afternoon, everyone.
good
Kitty,
afternoon.
she's working a deal
Hey,
right
we
now.
even got
Take
Greg.
care of
Great.
business.
Hi, John.
Look
Hi,
at that. Hi,
everyone.
Sherry, good to
Good
see
morning.
you.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Star.
Hi.
He's here, and Suzanne looking brilliant as always. Joe is on the beach. Lynn is where she is. And Carlene, our friend Carlene, is here. Of course, Craig is in orbit right now. We don't know what planet.
Yeah.
But very good, you guys. So good to see you all. We're going to go ahead and have a fun little meeting today. Let me go ahead and mute the microphones. And I got an idea. That you just introduced to me just because I was eavesdropping on you. And the idea is one that we've discussed before in various ways, but I think it's worth discussing again. And that is overcoming inertia and essentially getting off of zero is how I like to say. Get off of zero. Like we start with our stats are at zero. Not a good number in business. One is a better number, but that's not a very good number either. So how about two, right? Which leads to the next thought, which is momentum, right? We could say from inertia, we get momentum. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. You may be that object right now. If you're brand new, right? You may feel like I'd like to go faster. In fact, was it Mary who was saying, it may have been you, Mary. I'd like to go faster. Or maybe it was Rusnita who was just saying everything seems to take longer, right? So that is a reality. That is real. That perception that you have of that is real when approaching not just this, but any new endeavor, that requires learning, right? Where you're not already competent. And then comes the momentum, which we've also talked about before, where now you get to go faster and faster. Why? Because the reality of, the instruments that you're using on the planet, because that changed? No, it's the same tools. It's the same stuff. You changed. You became more competent. And with competence comes speed. In fact, I've studied the, what some people would look at as just ways to be happier in life. When we get into, we get a lot of happy people here, but we get into the idea of goal achievement. And sometimes people are pretty vague on what they want. They don't have a specific target, perhaps a target income, right? If we're talking about making a better lifestyle for yourself, it would be good and smart, I think, to have a specific target. That doesn't mean that's the ceiling. Like, oh, look, I'm going to limit myself now at only, 500,000 a year or whatever that target might be. No, that's a new standard, right? We're climbing the stairs onto the next floor. That's the floor. That's not the ceiling. That's not a limit. That's a standard that we're raising ourselves to. And yet, if that doesn't exist, if we don't raise our standards specifically towards a known target, a lot of times people will kind of offer what I call a cop-out. Oh, I just want to be happy. Right. Or some other, vague equivocation. It's like, I can't hang my hat on that. Right. I need something a bit more specific. Actually, I don't need it. You need it. Right. If you intend, to go anywhere. Right. I'm good. I think I know where I'm going. At least I got some specific ideas, but I just want to be happy or make a lot of money. Well, what's a lot of? I don't know. But in terms of being happy, there are a few things that you can do to be happier. In a general sense. So if we're going to talk in generalities, okay, well, let's start with general stuff, and then we can acquire more specificity as we get off of zero and start moving towards, some more specific things. More will be revealed. But in terms of, in a general sense, you want to be happier. Well, here's my question. What is one of the things that you do that you feel happy once you've done it? Do more of that. For me, I can, in a general sense, I could say, well, that's high integrity things. high integrity actions. When I give myself a command and then actually follow it, oh my goodness, I did it. Now that could be in the area of money, affluence, building wealth, whatever. It could be exercise, fitness, right? Health, all this. It could be in the area of relationships, right? Where how many of you, let me ask the men here, I think there's 2 of us on here. Let me ask the men here. You make a conscious decision that you deliberately like to do something nice and special for the lady. You get the flowers or the card or whatever it happens to be, and then you deliver that card or flowers or whatever. And do you not? I mean, you didn't receive the thing, but did you not feel like, wow, I just I did something good, right? Look at the appreciation, or I mean, hopefully, right, depending on the relationship, I suppose. But yeah, is that not a high integrity action? It is a high integrity action. I wrote about this in my first book. I opened the door for my wife. Is that a big deal? Now, if you live in a country or a culture where the ladies open the door for men and that's somehow good and chivalrous, okay, fine, do that. Here, I mean, that's how I grew up, right? Granted, I'm a little bit long in the tooth compared to some people, right? The new generation or whatever's the norm these days. But no, we open the door for the lady, right? That's just how that goes. So I like that. I feel good about that. Fine. So what high integrity actions could you do more of that help you feel good about yourself? The more you do those things, the more competent you become. And as we've already discovered, competence and speed go together. People like going fast. You know what else likes going fast? Money. Right? In fact, was it United Parcel Service? Was their slogan, traveling at the speed of business or something like this, right? So I know a lot of you deal with UPS every day. I deal with UPS all the time as well, and the US Postal Service and FedEx and whatever. But the idea that they're inducing with a slogan like that, and I hope I got it right, but the idea is that you intend to grow your business, better, stronger, faster. Okay, well, UPS is right there with you, with their brown truck and the guy with the box, right? So we're going to get this done. Getting it done, that feels good. Speed and competence, they get it done, right? They get the box on the doorstep. Who's the number 1 shipper with UPS in North America? Amazon, right? So, and United States Postal Service, and they got special rates and all this. And I don't know, obviously some of you are not in the United States. A lot of you aren't. But that's a reality here, right? When we look at who's moving the most boxes, right? There's Amazon. They move boxes. They sure do, via multiple delivery channels. Back to the original point, speed and competence go together. Therefore, the enemy of speed, competence, and that smile on your face is inertia. Stopped. I don't know what to do. Or I suspect I think I know, but I'm not quite sure. Uncertainty, maybe. Ooh, maybe's crazy. No. No maybes. We want to get off of maybe and thereby get off of zero. So if we look at inertia, procrastination, indecision, fear, doubt, right? There's a nice collection of words I'm offering you here, right? You can put them all in a nice little bucket. We can light it on fire because that clearly is not serving you. In fact, Napoleon Hill in his classic book, Think and Grow Rich, talked about how indecision and procrastination are basically one and the same. He said, decision, the opposite of procrastination, right, is the cure for this lack of faith in oneself to actually be able to get what you want, right? It's your answer comes through your action. We could sit and philosophize, and philosophy is great. It's got its uses, but the use of it is that you actually use it, right? That you do something with the philosophy. Okay, fine. So now, I'm not ready, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to make one little step. We're going to get off of zero. See what just happened? Oh, I did it. That's high integrity action. I gave myself a command. Lyndall, I'm going to go ahead and mute your mic. I gave myself a command, and then I followed it. Look at that. I get a little badge for that. I feel better about myself having done that. Okay, how quickly can you do that? And then the more you do that, like we talked about earlier this week, the power of consistency, right? The more you consistently take high integrity actions, big or small, doesn't have to be some big heroic effort, but the more you do that, the faster you get. Every little action makes you more competent at doing that action the next time. And next thing you know, you're at the top of the mountain, not because of some heroic, miraculous stuff that you manifested fish and loaves or something. No, you just were more consistent than all the other people who are still at zero, wondering, shouldn't I? My goodness, right? So don't put like successful people on a pedestal, right? Especially if you're new here. We may look at probably the best example of all is Sophie and her senior staff. Here's Christina. People.
Uh-oh,
Did we lose John?
John is not there.
He's frozen.
Yeah,
It
my
wasn't
internet, but obviously
You
not.
are, John.
John didn't pay his cable bill.
John, come back from wherever you are.
That's a first, isn't it?
I was
John's
completely
cable
gone.
bill didn't get paid.
Oh, yeah, he's fired.
Oh,
Oh, no, the class is becoming.
Congratulations, Mary.
Back all is forgiven.
Be like his Harley.
Pay your cable bill, John.
Sorry I'm late.
I guess he's done with us.
Whew.
He's like, all right, I
Must be
quit.
fed up.
Oh no, he's frozen again.
Yeah.
Cable must have overheated.
His screen is
Yeah.
black.
Did any of you guys get
There he
a call today about today's meeting?
John, you froze on us.
no.
No.
He's
Oh,
trying to
no.
overcome inertia.
Yeah, I got one about the meeting. I started getting the emails. So I was just trying to follow up with them because obviously that's, I'm already in the program. So that's kind of a little bit of wasted resource. Hopefully they can get that sorted out.
I think John's back.
Hey, Am I back?
You're back.
John?
Cat, no.
Am I back? Yes.
Yes, you are.
Oh my goodness! I was just about to grab my iPhone and say I'm
Here we
going
go.
rogue on this. Baby.
Jesus.
Here we go.
That was a
Right.
first, John. Yeah, that was a first.
Well,
This is that's either a good sign or a bad sign. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
it is Phoenix.
Yeah. Well, what? Not a cloud in the sky again. We're looking for rain over here,
It's
Tom.
the tremors. It's the tremors from the Alaska earthquake, maybe.
Maybe something
Oh.
melted.
That could be the interwebs.
Into Yorkshire, there's plenty of rain in Yorkshire.
Decisive
So-
action.
Yeah.
On purpose,
John, we
decisive
don't, we
action.
didn't get any of it.
You didn't get any of it? Nothing. So start the entire oratory over again. I will.
No.
Thank you.
What time was the first comment?
I'm okay with that, John.
All right. So the last thing I heard myself say was that you've got the ability to create this imaginary line of demarcation or this imaginary wall between you, who you perceive yourself to be, and who those few special people are, right? Which is the failure mechanism. That's what that is. I'm not at the top of the mountain. Therefore, I am less than or somehow, those other people, those are special people. And even we could say, like here in this community, what would be the pinnacle of performance in terms of Amazon selling? Well, obviously Sophie, the queen of Amazon, right? And Christine, her top, coach and all this. Why? Why is that? Because they're miraculous people or something? Well, that's that. I mean, how do you duplicate that? You see what I'm saying here? When we take an ideal, or we imagine an ideal and we separate ourselves from it, thinking somehow that's not accessible, that's part of the failure mechanism. Who was it? Ralph Emerson said, in every act of genius, we see our own rejected thoughts. So the idea there with that quote is not that I can't do that. The idea is I've not chosen to do that. That person who plays the piano with the brilliant music, right? They traded a good portion of their life to be able to do that. You didn't choose that. You rejected that thought. I think I'm gonna practice piano 10 hours a day. No, you know what? No, I'm gonna reject that thought, and that's fine. That's fine. Not your priority, but something's got to be your priority. So let's choose. Who are we? Who's showing up to do this job? I took my daughter. This is a story I've told you guys some months ago, back in February. So just before the whole COVID thing and all this, we had the Arizona Nationals, NHRA professional drag racing. Okay. My daughter's never seen this. And I showed her some YouTube videos. Here's what it looks like. These cars have 11,000 horsepower engines. They run for like 4 seconds and they blow up into pieces, and they cost them thousands of dollars to rebuild it. Like the lifespan of this machine is about 4 seconds. And so, but wait till you see this. Wait till you feel this. And she was like, all right, I want to go. So I brought her. She's 9 years old. I brought her to the drag races. And sure enough, you should have seen her face light up when the first time nitro cars went past at 300 miles an hour, like that fast, from 0 to 100 in like 0.3 of a second or something. Unbelievable. Probably 0.6 of a second, 0 to 100. But I said, you know what? These are the most competent drivers in the world. And look at how fast they go. We did not pay today to see grandma drive at reasonable speeds. That's not what we paid to see. We paid to see the most competent drivers in the world operate these machines that want to kill them repeatedly, right? To the point where this one was, 0.08 of a second faster than that one. And therefore, here's your trophy, man. And so, and she got it. She got it. Competence and speed go together, and it feels good. Oh my goodness, it feels good. You should see these guys and gals, right? Brittany Force, right? I don't know if any of you are into drag racing, but John Force, the Force family, 3 of his daughters are professional drag racers now, right? So they are into it, right? They're winning trophies and they're having a blast, right? This is their thing, man. This is their thing, and they're going fast, right? A lot of times society tells us, be careful. Yeah, be prudent, be awake, right? Don't be stupid, don't be reckless. But that doesn't mean that all of your life, including your more subjective, business activities, you should just like be careful all the time. Calculated risks, yes. Okay. Informed decisions, yes. Being careful, if that's the primary thing, over caution, as Napoleon Hill said, is just as bad as under caution. Reckless, not good. Over caution, not good. So being a person myself, I'll speak for myself, that, having been born into lack, limitation, poverty, whatever, I had become risk averse, right? And we're all risk averse to some degree or another. If you're not, then yeah, recklessness. Okay. Which, I don't know, how much are you willing to gamble, right? That would be a question, right? People that put their life on the line and everything. And you can watch fail videos on YouTube if you thrill to that sort of thing. Personally, I don't like. I'm hoping, praying that people continue to evolve. That civilization continues to become more civilized. But there are people who thrill to the idea of watching others make an ass of themselves and fail at life or at whatever. I would suggest to you that while that may be temporarily thrilling, in some ways, it's even more thrilling to have a fast and well-running, stable business, and thereby income and lifestyle, not just now, but for future generations. I'm not getting younger. Who's getting younger here? Grace getting younger? No? Tom? I knew it. But you get the point, right? Speed and competence. We got to get off of zero. Overcome that inertia. Every little step that we can take, as Mary was citing, she got a product listed. Well done, Mary. That's 1. That's not 0. That's 1. Well done. How much easier it is to do number 2 now, or 10, or 50, right? Because all those tiny little minutia that took you all day before is now done. Faster. Now you're at the top of the mountain because you were consistent in just doing the high integrity actions that anybody could have done. You're not special. That's why I wrote my first book. People were saying I'm special or something. I got secrets. Hey, come on, man. It's the same data. I just did something with it. Not even perfectly. I just did something. I'm done talking. I love you guys. Thank you for dealing with the technical challenges, man. That was exciting. Look at that. I'm back. At least I hope I'm back. Who else is back? If you got some comments on this idea of overcoming inertia and becoming competent and happy because you're going fast, you're going somewhere. Come on out. Let's have a little conversation here. Hopefully we're still live on YouTube as well. Let me see. Yes, we are still live on YouTube. That's good. Hey Wayne, what's up, brother?
Morning, John. How are you?
I am, man.
I'm on
fire.
Good. Yeah.
Just, yeah, I like this inertia thing a lot. Obviously, having been most of my career in aviation, inertia is a big deal for me. And so, you know, Newton's first law basically says that an object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion and at the same speed and direction, unless it's acted upon by an unbalanced force. So that applies obviously in aviation, but I'll go to that in a minute. I just want to talk about aircraft taking off. But inertia we can use to our advantage as well. It's just we have to get to that state of motion. And I know if we've been in that state of rest, it's an unbalanced force, so it can be very unsettling because there's an unbalanced force. It doesn't fit into that current realm of balance. So it can be scary. It can be tough. It can feel like it's impossible because it's an unbalanced force. So thinking of the aircraft on the runway, the most energy burn, the most fuel burn occurs in those first few moments on the takeoff roll. So until you get yourself airborne, you're burning the most fuel per minute, if you want to look at it in that way. You're expending the most energy per minute. So actually getting an aircraft from zero as it starts to accelerate through takeoff is quite substantial. And another piece with that is once you get your wheels off the ground, your perspective starts to change pretty rapidly. While you're on the runway, all you see is buildings coming at you. And you're kind of like, well, you know, is this going to be a good thing or a bad thing? So you hit that decision point, you get your wheels off the ground, you start to change your perspective. You start to use less energy. You're still in the climb, so you're using more energy as you climb. Your perspective gets higher and higher. You see things different and different. Once you hit the cruise altitude, you start to reach an equilibrium, and now inertia is working for you. And so you actually are in motion. Your perspective is really good. You've got that speed. So unless you get an unbalanced force, say something that tries to stop you, then that inertia is actually really working for you. So I know I'm very much still right at the end of the runway right now. A lot of energy going on. That unbalanced force is there. But, you know, I think if we just keep on going, we start climbing out, our perspective is going to start to change and inertia is going to start working for us here.
Fantastic. Thank you, Wayne. And there you go. We can see evidence of this truth in life and things very easily observable. Nikki, what's going on?
I just want to say, John, thank you so much for broaching that topic today. I really needed it. And for Wayne, what he's just said there, I can just really add that to what you've been saying. I sauntered through the first couple of weeks of this course, absolutely loving it, couldn't do enough. Hit the I'm scared, I'm a failure, I can't do any of this. And I've sort of been in the paddling pool ever since. But I know I've got myself a new laptop now, and I just know that I'm going to write a strategy and do a calendar and put it all out, and I'm going to get moving. I don't have to get 0 to 100 in 0.6 seconds. I can take it 1 second at a time. So I'm just really grateful for the encouragement today.
Fantastic. Yeah, those guys driving those insane cars didn't start in that car, right? They started.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
learning how to drive. Yeah, good stuff. Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go to Regina and Joe. Then we got Rosnita and we got Lee and Stuart. Hey, Regina and Joe.
Hi, John. Hi, everybody. I just want to share some great news. I was pretty depressed for a while there, trying to get past helium-10 and get my products going and whatever. And John's daily encouragement and everybody here, their encouragement on how they're stepping along and has really inspired me to keep going. But I was pretty down. And finally, I decided to take advice and say, well, I'm going to find somebody who can help me. I'm going to delegate and see if I can find somebody to get me over this hurdle. So we planned a coach call, and we had a one-on-one coach call, and my product was approved. So I'm like, yes. So now I'm like way back up on the top of the list again, and I feel really excited. So thank you, everybody, for whatever little bit you give to help us get where we're going every day of the week.
Fantastic, Regina. We knew you could do it. We knew that. Well done, my friend. Always good to hear from you. And Joe, although I couldn't see you again. So
yeah,
something
we're
with
in the
your
dark
technology,
again, so
you know, whatever the story is with that. So we're going to Rosnita, and then we got Leah, Stuart, and Mark. Hey, Rosnita.
Hi, everyone. So one of the things that I love about this journey is how much you learn. And I've always been fairly impatient. So patience is, I know, a virtue. So I wanted to share something which I'm hoping will help others on their journey. So I had been going back and forth with my supplier in China, working on designs, customization, you know, and I thought, okay, right, we're good. This is it. This is what I want for my product. And then I realized, then they said, okay, we need 30 days lead time. So I'm like, what? Because I was under the impression that they had all the components and that once I decide what I wanted, put it together, 1 week, we can ship. So I guess what I'm trying to get across is that be very mindful when you communicate, that you understand what they're trying to tell you. So I was concentrating so much on getting all the bits together for my perfect kit that I didn't realize that it wasn't a matter of, okay, I'm going to get A, B, C, D, E and plonk it in one kit and my kit is ready. So now I have to wait like 1 month for my kit to be ready. And then probably if I don't air ship it, I have to wait another month. So that was a very costly lesson for me in terms of time. So I thought that I would share it with everyone and maybe it helps everyone else on their journey when they're communicating with the supplier. So that's my contribution for today. And I just have to learn to be patient and communicate better with my suppliers. That's it. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. And I'm seeing here in the chat, Leon was saying 4-month lead time. We got a crikey from Yvonne. Thank you. I love that word. But so that I guess brings up the point that Rosnita's talking about is, or that we're all talking about, is like, when would be a good time to initiate that? Well, as early as possible, right? I mean, every day that we lose is a day that we're not closer to having it done, right? So great stuff, Rosnita. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's go to our friends, Leah and Stuart. And then we got Mark, and then I think Doreen wants to talk, perhaps. And
hey, everybody. Hey, John.
Stuart.
Great topic today, overcoming inertia. I just flashed on a couple things. One is that, I spent 30 years of my life getting people to climb mountains and do things that they thought that they could never do. And one of the tools or tricks or techniques that at least I found was helpful was setting little goals and even celebrating those little wins. But for me on the trail, in the mountains, it's like, all right, let's just get up to that rock over there. And then you can take a half a breath and then we'll move on, right? And then the next thing I flashed on were the 100-mile ultra marathons. You guys know about these 100-mile ultra marathons. There's one in Leadville, they call the Leadville 100. The one I'm thinking of in particular is a little west of you, John, called the Badwater or Blackwater. Do you know about that one? And that goes
personally, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
No, you didn't run that one, man. It goes, from my understanding, it goes from the lowest point in North America in Death Valley, like negative 287 feet, and it goes up to Mount Whitney. So it goes from the lowest point in the continental US to the highest point. And there was a cool documentary about this where they followed these people around who were doing these marathons. And I want to say the documentary is called Badwater or Blackwater. You can check it out. And they asked this woman, as her like feet were bloody and her toenails were coming off and all this kind of crazy stuff from running these marathons, how do you do this? How do you run a 100-mile marathon? She said, I don't run a 100-mile marathon. I run 101-mile marathons. Every little step, right? And I think, to me, when you look too far out, we're in this for the long game. You look too far out, it gets very overwhelming. I think that's why the 12-week calendar system is really cool too, because it allows you to set little reachable goals and not stress too much about where you're going to be in 5 years or 10 years. So I like the idea of, we're running a marathon, set little goals, set little landmarks. When you reach them, celebrate those little wins, and don't pitch your camp too long in one place, and keep moving.
Thank you, Stuart. Question, where is Mount Whitney?
Mount Whitney is in California. It is the tallest point in the continental US, and it's in the southern Sierras.
Really?
Maybe,
I did not know that.
Maybe one of you Californians would be better to describe that.
Yeah, I know certainly McKinley in Alaska, but that's not, I guess, considered continental US. And Pikes Peak and, a few others. But how tall is, I don't know, I'm going to look up Mount Whitney now. I did not know that.
Oh, it's a 14er. It's like 14.4 or something like that, or
A
14.5.
14. Okay. Good stuff. Now we know Mount Whitney right there. So, and conveniently located next to Death Valley, the lowest spot. Let's go to Mark Riggle, and then I see Gary and Doreen and Kathy. Hey, Mark, what's going on, brother?
Hey, John. I thought I'd just kind of continue on where Wayne had kind of talked about, since I have some background in aviation too. One of the components I kind of look at is once we're kind of up and running, this whole thing of velocity. And just how we keep moving. And once we kind of break that inertia and things start working for us, there's a principle in aviation called Bernoulli's principle, and basically talks about pressure and velocity, relative wind over wing. That's why a wing has a certain camber. So that's why it creates lift, because you reduce velocity, or you increase velocity but reduce pressure over the top of the wing, and that kind of draws the wing and pulls the airplane up in the air. There's another component to that. Once you actually you've overcome inertia and you have velocity, you have this thing called a horizontal component of lift. So every time you make a turn, you've got these pressures that are also moving the plane left or right, depending on what you do. And I see that very much as what we do here in our business, that we have all these pressures, we have all these external forces that are working on us. But once we start to gain some velocity and start to understand the processes, and we get the education and the practical application, that velocity is easier to continue, and just helps us move through the processes. And we have this sort of path of least resistance. As we gain these velocities, it gets easier for us to do these, and we have a tendency to be able to work with those much easier. So it just takes some time to get there. That's my best effort at this.
Mark, brilliant. Everyone who's sharing today, brilliant stuff. Whether we're talking about objective things we could see like planes, or the subjectivity of the mind, it's the same truth, right? It works. So yeah, beautiful stuff. Thank you. Let's Doreen, your mic's been open for a while. Do you have a comment?
Yes, I wanted to say something. Thank you very much, everyone. So every time I'm on this call, I always take notes, everything you say, John. I have like bullet points of the most important things you've been saying. When I don't come here, I listen to the YouTube. I always follow up. But so my exercise is every time we are having ideas here, I make note of the ideas that we are sharing, and I also amplify them with my own ideas. So on this particular subject, Stuart, thank you for taking the word out of my mouth, celebrating every single success. That was like point number 4 of something that I put down. But in terms of overcoming inertia, the first point I put down was fall in love with failure. Try to learn how to fall in love with failure, because failure just proves that you're towards a certain goal. It gets you closer to success. And also, failure is approval that you tried. So the first thing that brings inertia is the fact that you feel like you're failing. Trust me, failure has a secret. There is a gift in failing, which is an experience. So don't be scared. Just go ahead and fail. Be happy that you're gonna fail and go there. And if you don't, celebrate it. Big time, that whatever you achieve, just celebrate it. No matter what it is, say it loudly to those who don't want to hear or those who want to hear, and to yourself, because you matter most. Number 2, every day, just try to make affirmations. Tell yourself how powerful you are. Just claim your power. Explain to yourself the reason why you made the decision to come here. Explain to yourself the reason why you have you've made it through so many other barriers in your life. And trust me, it's you who made it. Nobody else made it for you. And because you made it then, you can still make it now. It may not be faster. It may not be like, you may not speak like John. You may speak like me, but you will speak. So another one is, just don't be scared of taking risks.
I don't know how to
Sorry, guys, I'm trying to manage everybody's microphone.
Do not be afraid. Like, don't be afraid. We know that this is a risk. We took this as a risk. Trust me, it's through the risks that we get to know how much strong we can be. If we remain in our comfortable zone, we'll never know which power really exists in us. If people didn't take, if people didn't take a chance to play the guitar, they will never know how good they can be. So we took this risk. You took the risk. I took the risk. If you get like blocked somewhere, just know it's a risk. It's a risk. Just don't embrace it. Take it, and you took it. And don't worry. You don't have to be perfect. Fall in love with your risks. Do whatever you want to do, and hang in there. If you really feel like you cannot go forward, don't go forward. What's wrong with it? Just don't go forward, but don't give up. Just take a break and then go again. There's no rush. Just take it. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much, Doreen. And I apologize for the background noise. We got someone who keeps unmuting their mic and I keep muting them. Guys, we're going to get to everybody. Sit tight. Thank you so much, Doreen, for your share. And the fact that you're paying attention to the point where you're taking notes as well. This is big. So I'm glad we're having an effect here in this community. So awesome. Great to hear from you. We're going to go to Gary Yee. Gary, did you have a comment?
Hello, yes. So, well, I always get anxious when I'm going to speak. So this is something I have to get over, my inertia. I have to go.
Can you down a little bit? We got your forehead on the beach. We got a forehead on the beach. Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've got to build myself up to then speak, even though I am not shy at speaking one-on-one. So in any case, yesterday in the meeting, it was said that Amazon wants us to they're showing our personal details or whatever details online. So I had to say, oh my God, I need to get myself an American address. And I went out, got myself an American address. But when I went to put it into Amazon, Amazon wasn't happy with the address I got. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm just going to go to my manufacturer. So I went to my manufacturer. I said, listen, you want me to, I'm using your products. I'm going to be selling these products that I'm getting from you. Amazon wants me to have an American address. I don't have an American address. I want to use your American address. And guess what? Yay, presto. They've not only given me the address, they've actually said to me that they can handle all my customer service processes when customers are calling about the products. They can explain all the issues around the products on my behalf. There you go.
There it is.
If you don't ask, you don't get. And if you don't get up off your butt and do something, nobody's going to do it for you. That's my little contribution. Thank you.
Profound, Gary. Those who ask, get. There it is. The profundity of the day is upon us via Gary Yee. Awesome stuff, brother. Nice background as well. All right, so we got Kathy. We got iPad 129, Fayonolta, London, UK. We got Monday. We got Kenneth, and we got Evelyn. So, hey, Kathy, you've got the floor. Oh, I just accidentally muted you. I am so sorry. Go ahead. You just unmuted. Go ahead and unmute again, please.
So
there she is.
I'm unmute. No, now I'm muted.
Yep.
I'm unmuted.
You're good. You're live.
Okay. It says mute on mine, but okay, thank you.
Yeah, we're having Zoom issues today.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. It's really amazing topic, John, and all the contributors, and everybody's so encouraging. And I just wanted to add, I had a little win, and I loved the 100 1-mile marathons and all of the other analogies of overcoming inertia. But this was reminding me of the quadrants that we spoke about yesterday as well, in moving from quadrant, and how the inertia of being used to one model and moving to the next model can slow us down. And I was having trouble, just trying to get a product up, and the Rich Dad was talking about going back to your passion in order to move through that quadrant, and that he needed to have build a structure around his heart. And so when Sophie brought to light the Kindle opportunity, I already knew I could write, I could get a book up. I got a book up yesterday. So now I have a little win for traction, and I can go back and finish my product. So yay, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Awesome. Kathy, well done. Here we go, my friend. Thank you so much. Let's go to iPad 129, Fantola, London, UK. Is that Fantola, Anthony? Fantola? Are you here? I'm going to try and get your microphone unmuted. Fantola?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yay, there she is.
Oh, hi. I am very shy. I've been watching, I've been listening to everything everyone has been saying. It's been very encouraging. One of my initial is the fact that, anyway, I'll start with my background. I'm a cabin crew for British Airways. It's a lot going on in the aviation industry at the moment. It's this is where I get my encouragement to go into this Amazon thing, but I've never done it before. I'm a bit scared. I'm kind of stuck. I was kind of stuck, I'll say, in my modules. I'm still struggling. You can hear my voice breaking a bit because I'm getting very, very emotional. But excuse me, please.
Okay.
Okay. Well, why I'm emotional is my son. He's 16. He came to me this morning and said to me, "Mommy, you are such a strong person, and you taught me how to be strong. And you're very determined. When you're determined, you make mountains move." And he came to me and gave me and said to me, "Mommy, I have an idea of your product listing." And when he told me this idea about my product listing, I couldn't believe it because it was just perfect. I mean, just part of it. It was just perfect. And he said, "Mom, put your mind to this. And I know you really want this Amazon thing. Put your mind to it. And I'm going to help you along the way." Your mind, all you need is your mind, the way you put it to everything you do and how you help people around you. So that's sort of helping me now to overcome my nausea. And that's all I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. And
thank you, everyone.
It's good to have people in your life who believe in you. And here's your son. This is very touching. Thank you for
so much,
sharing.
everybody.
Yeah. So glad you're here in this community. Yeah, you're getting some love in the chat roll as well. So glad you're here. Let's wrap up with a few of our other members here. We got Monday, and then Kenneth, and then Evelyn, and I think we're going to wrap up with that. Hey, Monday. Monday. I know Monday you were unmuting several times. Now, if you would unmute, that would be great so we can hear you. Monday. Any? No. Okay. No Monday. We're gonna. It's like a recurring theme with Monday. All right, Kenneth, you've got the floor, sir. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, good afternoon. Good to see you, John. I was just absorbing what's been being said the last couple of days. Talking about being reliant and also getting past the inertia. I've read Rich Dad Poor Dad several times. And one of the things I know that we're trying to do here is we're trying to set up a business system. This is why people buy franchises. So I'm thinking about how we're setting this business up. And if I have to do everything, then I'm self-employed, However, like the other day, I had somebody do my listing. I'm going to have somebody do my photos. And once I get that system in place and I get those people in place that I can trust, then I'll be able to create a system. Because that's what I want. I don't want to be a prisoner to my business. I want to be able to create. So let's keep on moving forward. Remember, it's okay to have others that know a little bit more than us. And every time I get on this call, I just get inspired. This is an amazing group. Thank you guys for all your great energy. Let's keep it going. Let's make it happen.
Awesome. Thank you, Kenneth. Always good to hear from you, brother. Glad you're here. Yeah. Let's go to Evelyn, and then we'll see if Monday can unmute. Hey, Evelyn.
Hi.
Hey.
How's everyone doing?
Oh, what a great day. We have some emotion here as well. Yeah.
Nola, you made me cry. Oh my gosh. I remember when I cried here a couple months ago. I was very emotional. So we've been there at one point or another. We all have been. it was not my intention to be talking about what you said, but I can tell you that a lot of us can relate. Make sure that you're reading the support on the chat. What I wanted to say actually though was celebrate the big wins. I finally did my shipping plan, believe it or not. Yay. It was something I was afraid of. I finally got to it. And the other thing that I dared to do, even though I haven't received my first product and it's arriving tomorrow, and I already got my text, my UPS confirmation that will be here in the afternoon, is I started to negotiate my next shipment, and the price went down. So I'm saying this not to brag to anybody, but to try with the people that you're shopping from right now, that they saw that you were serious and you already placed your order. My order arrives tomorrow, and I said, hey, okay, my product is arriving tomorrow. I'm excited about what my sales may be. What's the best price that you can give me for my next shipment? Like I told you at the beginning, I wanted to create a serious relationship with you guys as a vendor. What can you do for me? And they came down immediately, 35 cents per unit. And I said, well, I'm not 100% satisfied. I know you can do better. What can you do? And I pushed again, you know, and she says, I'll talk to my boss tonight and we'll see what we can do. So, you know, it comes together with everything about inertia. You know, yes, I've been waiting and I've been desperately waiting to have my product here, etc. We are all going to go through that. But what I've done in between is that I have been trying to learn other things that I know I'm going to need in the future, like branding. There was, you know, a course, and I'm taking that. I'm reading my books. So I'm trying to make my time as productive as possible. So I just hope that helps someone.
Yeah, I think it helps all of us. And you're not trying, you're doing it, right? I mean, there it is. It's happening. So thank you, Evelyn. Always good to hear from you, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to see one more time if we can get Monday to speak. Monday, Morty. Monday? No, Monday. All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up. We are 47 minutes past the hour. I will see you guys again tomorrow. It has been a great session today, and a lot of good reminders for me as well. So I get as much out of this as everybody else. Thank you, my friends, for being a part of this, and we'll see you tomorrow. Make it a good one.
Bye, everyone. Bye.